Hello all you little Gurntholses and those of you who are fortunate enough to share some of the Gurnthol's blood. Today I'm going to show you how to make my grandmother's bread. Now the recipe never really existed except in the reminiscences of the oldies in the family, so we've kind of pieced it together. There's a whole little thingy on the page as to how you actually do this. Okay. So we've got the milk, which we've popped in the microwave for 2 minutes to make it lukewarm. We've got the flour with a little bit of salt in it. I like a coarse ground, stone ground flour for this, organic, free range, whatever you can get. Normal white bread flour, of course, works well too. So we've got the milk and the sugar, we've got the flour and the salt, and now we are going to add the yeast to the milk. Now the reason I use milk, and it's full cream milk, is because Granny always used to put the cream into her yeast plant. She didn't use sachet yeast like we do here, but the yeast plant is far too complicated, so we're actually going to cheat a little bit and we're going to use warm milk and instant yeast. Just stir it to make sure that the yeast dissolves completely. And let it stand for 5 minutes, it'll go all frothy. And you'll be able to start smelling that bready smell. And then we are going to add it to the flour. Now you can do this by hand, but it's a slap. So do yourself a favor and get your parents to buy your kenwood and use the dough hook, and it works a lot easier. You pretty much mix all the ingredients together and you knead it out. Now I'm going to show you how to knead by hand in just a minute. Yes, of course you can't convince your parents to buy your kenwood. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a kenwood, you just need the dough hook. Okay, so let the kenwood do the work. Don't let the kenwood knead the dough for more than 5 minutes because you can over-knead it using the machine. We can't really over-knead dough by hand, purely because it would just take too long and get tired to freeze it. The dough should be slightly sticky, but not wet. You might need to add a little bit more flour to it, depending on the weather, or a little bit more liquid, depending on the weather. It's been raining all along, so this is just the right amount of liquid. Yeah, let the kenwood do the kneading work for you. I will show you in just a minute how to do the kneading thing by hand. Okay, all very interesting watching the dough go round and round and round, isn't it? Okay, so here we have the dough on the board, and this is just showing you how to knead it by hand. So fold the dough over with your fingers and then press it down with the ball of your hand, and just repeat that. You can do it with one hand, you can do it with both hands. Okay, so watch from the side. Fold over, press down. Fold over with your fingers, press down with the ball of your hand. Fold over, press down. Okay, it's a nice big piece of dough, then you can do it with both hands. So it's fold, press, fold, press, fold, press, fold, press. Not very complicated at all. You need to knead the dough to activate the gluten, which is the elastic, and you'll see I poke at it and the dough actually bounces back. Notice I use my whole upper body to do this, rocking backwards and forwards. If you just use your arms, you'll get tired very quickly. That's why most women had nice firm upper bodies, but we won't go into that. Okay, so this is me just doing it quickly, and you'll see as I poke the dough, it bounces back. You can't see the dent in it. Then you know you have kneaded enough. Okay, there we go. See, it bounces back. You can't even see the dent. So this is after I've let it rise for about 45 minutes in a warm place. We're going to knead it out. This is called knocking back. So you're going to knead it out. It makes the little air bubbles in the bread a lot more even. Okay, make sure that the yeast is nicely spread out. So we're going to roll it into a sausage shape, about the same length as the bread tin. And then we're going to spray the bread tin. I found this really brilliant spray on olive oil. We're going to spray the bread tin, and then we are going to coat the inside of it with a bit of flour. And that's going to make sure that the bread doesn't stick when you get it out. There we go, so give it a little spray. You can rub it with oil if you like, but I find that it's a lot less messy if you do it this way. Shake out the excess flour. There you go. Take your handful. Shake, 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 shake. Tap it around. But like I said, this just stops the whole lot from sticking when you try and get it out. So we put the the dough into the loaf tin, and we cover it and we let it rise again until it has doubled in size. Okay, so be patient with this. This doesn't happen quickly. So now you have a nicely risen loaf. Now we're going to oil it again. This is one of Grans' tips. Oil it again. I use the spray because I don't like to touch the dough this time, because if you touch it too much it'll go flat. Stick it in the oven. And I learned something from a master baker, that to help the crust develop you need a little bit of water, which you just spray into the bottom of the oven, and it makes your crust go nice and brown. Now you can cook it a bit further, because Gran used to like to cook hers quite a bit. I prefer it a little bit underdone like this, and this is how I remember them, is standing on the kitchen table wrapped in a dish towel to cool. Enjoy with a bit of butter.